So today we'll be talking about artificial intelligence in information technology. Artificial intelligence in information technology. As usual, we want the class to be engaging. Please feel free to ask questions wherever you are hooked. Please, you can raise up your hand and then the trainer is going to call you to ask your question. All right. And the person who took us on the last class is the same person who will be taking us today in the person of Elizabeth Amankwal. So I don't know if I should still read her profile, but nevertheless, I will still do so. Elizabeth is a seasoned cybersecurity professional, speaker, trainer, and mentor. She's a management systems auditor at A48 and the events and program lead for YSYST, West Africa affiliate. She specializes in management systems auditing, incident management, compliance monitoring, cybersecurity, risk management, data privacy, and AI governance. Elizabeth is on a mission to bringing in engaging and tailored cybersecurity awareness to all and sundry. Her passion extends to shaping the cybersecurity industry by mentoring the next generation of women cybersecurity enthusiasts from diverse backgrounds to take on key roles in the industry and eventually reduce the gender gap. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping ovation in the chat room, please let's welcome our trainer who will be taking us today on the topic AI in information technology. Elizabeth, please, you can take it off from here.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Good morning, everyone. I didn't expect to be back, but I am back. It's all good. So we'll be having a lot of discussion. So I would like us to really participate and ask more questions. And I believe the class will be very lively and will attract people to even join in. Okay, so I have a question for us. One or two questions before I share my screen. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of your daily IT task is assisted with what AI? How much of work do you do with AI? I'm dropping that in the chat. So let's all go to the chat room. Let's all go to the chat room. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of your daily work are you using AI to help? Is assisted with AI? Let's go to the chat room. Okay, Kayode is saying 3. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? We have Adedabola, right? We have Titilayo. Okay, maybe I think you're part of the organizers. So we have Dorcas, we have Kayode, we have Adedamola. Let's hear from you. Hear from you in the chat. So Kayode is saying 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 of his tasks. He uses AI to assist. Okay, so I did that more like say 5, so like 50%. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Seems a lot of people use what AI a lot these days, and I mean, people are there's always that debate. AI will take your job, and some other people are saying that someone using AI will rather take your job. So I can see the ratio now that for 30% of the time or 50% of the time we are using AI in our in our daily tasks. Okay, so if we are using AI, what tools do we usually use? What tools are we? So which tool is always open in your browser, right? At every point in time during your work hours. What tools do you use? Let's hear from you. So what AI tool is open right now in your browser? What AI tool is open right now in your browser? So Coyote, I want to hear from you. Adedamola, I want to hear from you. What tools is open right now in your browser? Which AI tool is open right now in your browser? Okay, so Adedamola is saying ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Grammarly. Okay, so AI with Grammarly being what infused with what AI. Okay, AI on Google. Okay, AI on Google. That's the one in the browser or Gemini. Can you did? Is it the one in the browser or Gemini? Sorry. Okay, so at least both. Okay, AI on Google, so both Gemini and also AI in the browser. That's good. Okay, so at least to a larger extent, we use familiar tools that help us in our what in our daily what in our daily work. So today we are going to look in general about AI information technology. We are going to look at how AI started. We are going to look at core AI technologies. We'll look at areas in different sector of information technology like IT operations, like cybersecurity, cloud and infrastructure, software development, IT service management, data management. Then we'll delve into some of the challenges, the ethics, and the future trends. Then we'll put all of this in context in terms of how AI is being used in the Nigerian world context. Okay. So I mean what is artificial intelligence? Someone may ask. It does what four main things, right? The first part is what the learning part, okay? Like when you give birth to a child, okay, and you start teaching, the child will now start learning how to say short words like ma. Then along the line, the child will now start speaking what fluently. So AI does what the learning what part. That's the acquiring the information and the rules, right? As it is learning, then it is what is reason, is begin to what to think. Okay. And as it's beginning to think, it's beginning to form its own what opinions and what conclusion. And sometimes the opinions and conclusions may not be as accurate. So it will be what's corrected. It'll be fine-tuning some of these over time just to get things right. Then the last part is what the perception part. AI doing a lot of what interpretation based on what the reason. So now it has learned, it has reasoned, it has self-corrected, and now it's coming up with its own perception based on all of this. So AI does these four main what things. Okay. And in terms of the big picture in AI, right? 85% of IT leaders say AI is a strategic priority. Mhm. 85%. And three times faster incident resolution, 500 billion projected value, and 40% reduction in IT operational costs. So I would ask us, do we have an AI policy in our organizations? Do you have AI policy? I know a lot of countries um, are trying to come up with what AI policy, okay? A lot of countries. I know a lot of countries have already rolled out AI policy, like a national policy. But when it comes to our various organizations, do we have, yes, Kaede, let's hear from you. You can unmute yourself and speak. Do you have AI in your organization? So you can mention your organization, then you tell us. You can mention your
Not at the
organization, then you tell us.
not at the moment. As at the time I was working, not at the moment because I'm into private thing myself now. So, but as the time
Oh,
I was
okay.
working, yeah. So it wasn't in place at the time.
At that time, okay. Now you are doing your own work. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's hear from you, Adedamola and Dorcas. Let's hear from you. Do you have an AI strategy or policy in your organization? Let's hear from you. Unmute yourself and speak. Okay, drop in the chats. No, ma, we don't have. Okay, so you don't have. So that's fine. So I mean, it's still very new. AI is still quite new within organizational context. So most are now seeing how do we even come up with what a strategy and a policy to help with that. Okay, so that's the in terms of what the big picture, trying to use AI for all these what areas, right? So in terms of monitoring cybersecurity software development. And we are going to see how AI is being used in all these various what domains of what of IT. Right. So someone was saying, okay, AI, when did it all start? Did it just start when ChatGPT just came into being? No. So every technology that comes to the forefront for users to use always has an underlying technology. There's like behind the scene. I know we have back end and front end, right? So it started from what the 1950s. That's way back. Okay, 1950s. That's how AI started and has gone through different stages up until now, right? Went into what machine learning, okay, then went into what big data, then deep learning also evolved before during the 2020s. The large language models and generative AI all came to being. Okay, so AI has gone through so many word phases. Okay, and what are some of the technologies, the AI technologies driving IT? Yes, machine learning, systems learning from data without, so the machine is learning straight away without a lot of what programming or like that underlying software. Okay, then deep learning, so machines trying to make the human brain, how the human brain what works, how the human brain processes what information. Okay. Then natural language processing, right? We know from I would say our IT days that computers understand computer language, which is zeros and what and ones. But now we want them to be able to understand what we are saying as human beings. Okay, the English that we are speaking, maybe the Igbo that we are speaking along the line. I bet is in the works. AI being translated across different languages. Okay, and computer vision, right? Machines being able to interpret and act on visual data. So that's why you can uh, upload a picture into ChatGPT or Gemini, and it can what interpret that information that we or extract information from it. Reinforcement what learning, AI learns optimal actions through trial, reward, penalty. So it starts, right? If there's any errors, it finds a way to what correct itself and what improves upon that. All right. So you realize that as new versions of the models are being released, it's becoming more fine-tuned, more what error like reduced. Okay. Then we have generative AI. Generative AI is what most of us see and use, right? Creates content, text, images, code, and what have you. So these are the technologies driving what? IT. AI technologies driving what? IT. Okay, so machine learning in IT. So machine learning is most widely developed in AI technology because it's part of the underlying what infrastructure when it comes to what AI. And it's in different forms. It comes in what we call supervised learning. So supervised learning has a lot of human oversight in the form of email spam detection, fraud classification, and log anomaly labeling because the AI may not know what you classify as fraud or what you classify as spam. Okay, just mind you, it's like what a newborn baby that has been given birth to. You need to what feed the newborn with what with information. Okay, so the supervised learning means a human has to do some bit of the work before it can take over from there. And that is seen in these log anomaly labeling and all of that. Then unsupervised learning, this is when in terms of network traffic clustering, user behavior anomaly detection. This one it does it what on its own, right? Trying to find out what your user behavior based on the websites that you visit and all of the traffic that flows within networks is what unsupervised learning. Then you have semi-supervised, that's 50-50. Okay. The human does part, the AI does part. These are security event analysis with limited labeled what data when you are trying to analyze events into whether they are maybe their incidents or whatever. Okay. Then reinforcement learning, auto-scaling cloud resources, self-optimizing network routing. So this is when it goes that extra mile to do that prediction. I don't know whether we've seen that Go game when AI was in one of its early stages. They tried to use it to play a game called Go. And I mean, when it started, so they when it started though, they are like world champions in the Go World game. So they play with what with the machine. They play with the machine, and as it's playing with these experts, it does a lot of reinforcement learning. It's trying to see their moves, okay, how they are what, how they are what, playing their game, their tactics, which places they are moving to. And it got to a point, the AI made a move that, like, ideally, no human being, like, in terms of the history of Go, no human being would ever make that move. So it was classified more as like a machine move. And that's what reinforcement learning is about. It goes beyond what the human what does. Okay, goes beyond what a human does. So that's machine learning. Then we have deep learning and neural networks. It's seen in a lot of these image and video analysis, right? Analyzing the video and sometimes to determine whether it's even fake or it is real, okay? Log analysis, transformers, powering LLMs, that's large language models like GPT, which assist professionals. Okay. Then auto encoders, right? Auto encoders. So these are all how deep learning and neural networks would function within these AI assisted what technologies. Okay. Then you have natural language processing. Like I said, natural language processing. AI or tools, what understanding or computers understanding our language instead of the zeros and ones that they normally understand. Okay, and in what areas are we seeing natural language processing? We are seeing it in what? Chatbots and virtual agents a lot. We are seeing it in that area. So you go onto a bank's website and you want what your PIN to be reset or you have an issue, okay? Then also intelligent log analysis. helps to analyze logs to see what went wrong in any situation. Okay. Automated documentation, able to generate documentation, right? You can just prepare just some notes and tell AI, okay, I want you to generate it into a specific formatted Word document, and it helps with that. Okay. Sentiment and intent analysis using user feedback and support language to prioritize urgent what issues. So these are some of the areas in which natural language processing what happens. But I have a question for us. Will AI replace the need for entry-level help desk role within the next 3 years? True or false? True or false? I'm putting it in the chat now. You can unmute yourself and speak, or you can type in the chat. You can unmute yourself and speak, or you can type in the chat. True or false? AI will replace the need for entry-level help desk roles within IT support, because now we have a lot of these chatbots and virtual agents. True or false? Will AI replace the need for entry-level help desk roles? What do we think? What do we think? Let's go into the chat. Kaede Adedamula Dorcas, let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. True or false? AI will replace the need for entry-level help desk roles within the next 3 years. False. Okay, Kayode, false. Why false? Why false? Why do you think false? Why do you think it's false? Any reason for that? Kayode, let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you.
Someone's hand is raised, Elizabeth.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I can't see it.
Okay, it's
Okay,
Dr. Love.
please.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Okay, he just joined. Dr.
Thank you.
Love
Yes.
Days, please go ahead. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. AI shall replace most entry-level jobs by 60 to 70% by the year 2030, based on McKinsey reports. Right now,
Okay.
especially for customer services, over 40 to 50% have been replaced with chatbots and AI agents, even customer service centers. Then, just of recent too, last week, IBM sacked most entry-level roles, over 30,000, including most entry-level and mid-level roles due to AI. So in the next 3 years, most jobs will be gone for entry-level, including software development as it is. No more entry-level roles in most software companies due to use of AI tools. So yes, largely true.
Interesting. Interesting. So yes, I'm hearing a lot the news, a lot of people being sacked and all to invest in AI and everything. But I'm also getting a different, I mean, when you hear this side, you hear the other side, right? I'm also getting a
Yeah.
different, I'll say, feedback that some of the people who were sacked due to AI are kind of being rehired. So is it that they didn't really
I
predict
think
the future too well, or
yeah,
it was
I
a
think
hasty decision?
it will to some extent relieve most of those jobs, but not completely. And that's why I said false.
Yes,
Because in one way
yes,
or the other,
yes.
you will still need human intervention in this AI of a thing, whichever way you look at it. Because there are some things that AI will not be able to have. For example, somebody needs an information now. Of course, understandably, when he interacts with AI, he might give someone like, but to get to a point where he will need human intervention to actually talk. And that's why it will give room, or you want to speak to an agent, that will always be there. Because there are some things that AI will definitely not be able to handle when it comes to that point where you need a human intervention, an agent to actually speak with. At that point, you will need a human intervention at that entry level. So it cannot be
Mr. Kennedy,
100%.
Mr. Kennedy,
Yes.
that point
Yes.
is very valid. Let's look at it this way. If an entry level job normally requires 5 to 10 employees to do before,
Yes.
and you now deploy an AI agent that will now do the work of 8 employees, only leaving 2, it has literally replaced 80% of it.
I agree with you. I'm
Now,
not saying it
based
will
on,
not. Well,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm not saying it
So
will
the question now
completely.
is largely,
Okay.
now based on what the tutor said,
Okay.
based on what the tutor said, let me put this point in. Now, before COVID or during COVID, there were mostly layoffs due to investment in AI. Companies were hiring these sacked employees, man, were due to failure in digital implementation or the transformation processes. Not the AI solution fails itself. Please, let's get to understand this. Now, if I have an AI tool, right, that can do, say, for example, go through my emails, respond to my emails, and from there, I can now lead my client to booking calls with me. Even on when those clients come to my calls, I have an AI tool that will respond to their calls. Then is when it now comes to closing, they meet human. It's a 3-step approach that way, right, man? Right? Now, as a BA, if I'm to template this solution for such an organization, I must make sure my level 1, the step 1, are you following now? Where the AI will be checking through my mails is properly automated first before the second layer for the clients now or prospect to come to calls. I must be able to have the right questions already preset that the machine will be able to answer correctly to whatever domain they'll be coming in. Then before the human who will close it. So I didn't think through the process through, and I deployed AI. Of course, I'm expected to fail. But the more the knowledge is diffused, Mr. Kayode, and is deployed accurately,
the less the human intervention will require.
The less the human intervention. Remember Nigeria, before we have the unified payment collection system in our public sector, people were stealing money across all public organizations and services.
Yeah.
Now, when the tool was deployed, they needed to start training civil servants on how to use it. Despite that, there was still internal sabotage till it became diffused. More players came in. Since then, government is collecting revenue via auto tellers, auto emails, auto alerts. But people will always, because it's still at its teething stage. You understand it? Remember industrial age, when industries were there, we needed 50 people to run a whole factory. But today, they are automated factories. From inception to finished product is all machine. So it's gradual. It will reduce people, yes. New jobs will also evolve, but in total, it will reduce many employees. They can be rehireable if they get other skills to supplement what they've already known. That's what AI is. It won't replace everybody, but it will displace most people.
All right. I think
that's really, that's really true. Thank you, Dr. Lavdays, for that. So, Kaede, you were talking about, like when you call customer care and you want to speak to an agent, it's a human being. So I am privy, this is, I'll say, it's not really out there yet, but I'm privy to a projects going on whereby they are helping to translate different languages across different languages from text to voice and from voice to text. And ask yourself, like, why are they doing such a project? It's to tell you that they are going to use AI agents for that. So this one, they speak to an agent, it will be a human being, no. It will be it will be a robot. It will be a robot. Yes, Dr. Lovedays, you have your hand raised again, or okay. So it will be a robot. It may not be a human being. And yes, it is gradual. Along the line, we will get there. And like when I found out about this project, I was like, wow, like these people are doing a lot. Hey, there's a lot going on. I'm telling you, there's a lot going on with this AI, this whole AI thing. And it's not a joke at all. It's like serious business. People want to, they also want to make money, right? So every opportunity, they feel like, okay, this is an area, we need to just grab it. We just need to be ready. I mean, we need to be very what? Ready for it. Okay, so computer vision in IT operations, we also see that in a lot of workplaces. AI cameras detecting unauthorized access. This one is there. Data center monitoring, right? UI testing, facial recognition, yes, and biometrics. Even now, you go to Google, if you use Android, Google Photos, it will tell you it's all the pictures that you've saved is able to identify different faces and even put them together. And sometimes it will tell you, oh, give a name to it. We are trying to, in a way, it's collecting information from you because if this face, I name it Coyote, this face, I name it Tosin. I'm kind of giving info, putting information into what the AI. Right. It's like when you go to China a lot, they said it's there that you have these glasses that's able to read information about you and all of that. And all these are actually going on. Okay. Document and OCR processing is also there. When visuals can what extract data from scanned documents, invoices, and what have you. Okay. Network diagram what recognition, being able to read the network diagram and auto generates configuration documentation. It will tell you that, okay, based on this network diagram, this is what, and these are what are happening with what, or with what, with AI. But what do we think? Would we trust AI to automatically patch a server without human oversight? Now, in this current dispensation, do you think we would trust AI to do that job for us? Any thoughts? Do we think we'll trust AI to do that? Do you think we'll trust AI to just on its own just do all this work for us? It's AI that trusts it. Would you trust? So let's hear from us. Would you trust AI to autonomously, that's on its own? This is more like unsupervised work learning. Would you trust AI to autonomously patch a critical server at 3 a.m. without human oversight? Just do it. Is this something that you think in this current dispensation, or maybe it's something that in the future can happen, but right now we are not there yet? What do we think? Any thoughts from us? Any thoughts from us? Not for now, okay? Not for now. So yes, I also believe in that. I don't think right now anyone will trust AI to just or be unsupervised, right? So the ASI stage, okay. So maybe yes in the future, yes, maybe yes in the future, right? But now there's still a lot AI needs to learn, right? Because AI is still a child. AI is still a child, okay. AI has a lot to learn. AI has to grow up, like someone who said. AI needs to grow up first before it can start doing all those big stuff. All right. So that's just by the way. Okay, so that was for computer vision. In terms of IT operations, AI is already doing a lot when it comes to IT operations. Event correlation, like trying to pull a lot of it. Sometimes you can alerts. The alerts are just overloading, especially on these IT support, like so many alerts, SOC analysts, so many alerts. So AI helps with that correlation, that event correlation. It helps the anomaly detection, any what unusual behavior or suspicious behavior, then helps to flag it in terms of the root cause analysis, what happened, and predictive analysis, able to do all of that. Now, all these are already being what? Already being done. Okay. These are already being done. So a lot of tools have included AI into their services. Okay. Now, AI in cybersecurity. So yes, AI is also featuring in cybersecurity. I bet we've heard about the whole news around Claude Mythos and all of that. And it raised a lot of when Claude released its new models for cybersecurity. A lot of these cybersecurity firms stocks just dropped, right? But it's still in the initial stages, though. But it's a possibility, right? It's still in the initial stages, though. It's still in the initial stages. So AI and cybersecurity, so helping to what detect what breach average time because usually it takes very long to even detect a breach. Sometimes there are some attackers lurking in your systems. You may not know, but with AI helping to enhance that, right? Cybersecurity job failings, AI fills the gap. Cybersecurity job shortages. And someone was saying that um there was no shortage at all, but it was a whole way to but that's just a story for another day, right? But AI will help fill those gaps, yes, especially the entry level ones, yeah. Then faster threat response with AI powered SIEMs. So now AI powered SIEMs, faster threat response is able to pick every little thing is able to pick up very quickly, and it's very fast. Okay. And these are incorporated into tools, right, that has helped with malware detection, phishing, zero-day threat response, and SOA, security orchestration. Okay, security orchestration. So that's AI in cybersecurity. Now let's look at AI-powered threat detection from reactive to what proactive. So it helps with the collection. It doesn't just collect, it will analyze it for you. The machine learning will do that. It will detect real-time detection. It will also respond. So now when you a lot of banks especially now do a lot of this automatic there are a lot of these threats that are automatically what resolved. There are a lot of them that are automatically resolved with so imagine if you would hire a big team to respond to some of these incidents. A lot of them, the basic ones, it's just a few that you need like that human what intervention. Then it learns, right? Model retraining from confirmed incidents, maybe things it wasn't able to pick earlier, right? It learns on the job. It learns on the job. Okay. So that's for AI powered threat detection. Okay. But what do we think? Um do we think the cybersecurity defenders are winning the race or the bad actors? I remember I asked a similar question last week when we were looking at fraud and all of that. But do we think who do you think is winning? Who do you think is winning? Is it the cybersecurity defenders or the hackers? Who is winning in terms of using what AI? Who is winning? Who is winning? Let's hear from us. You can type in the chat or you can unmute yourself and speak. Who is winning the AI arms race? Is it the cybersecurity defenders or the bad actors? Because in as much as it's AI, it's available to what? Everyone, good or bad, right? It's available to everyone. Okay, and how you use it will determine like I remember when Facebook came, a lot of older people were like, Facebook is not good and everything. But now, even our churches we go on Facebook Live and everything. So it's just how you use it, how you use this AI that will determine whether it is good or it is bad because it can be the good cop, it can be the bad cop. But in our current dispensation, who do you think is winning? So let's hear from us, from Kaide, Dr. Lovedays, from Adedamola. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Let's go to the chat room. Let's go to the chat room. Let's go to the chat room. Let's hear from you quickly. Let's hear from you. Who do you think is winning the race? Who do you think has the upper hand? Who do you think has the upper hand? Who is winning? Oh, we are all refraining from answering. We don't want to face the reality. Hmm. Okay. So I believe cybersecurity. Okay. Ademola is saying cybersecurity. Okay. I would say yes, to a larger extent, AI is really helping, right? AI is really helping with the defense part. It's helping with the defense part, but with AI being used to attack, well, maybe the shortfall will be maybe the AI agent itself, but AI being used to attack, well, I've not heard so much of that, but I believe in the
Yeah.
cybersecurity space.
Okay. Can I
Yes,
talk?
yes,
Okay.
please go
Yes.
ahead.
On that question, the answer is quite relative. You understand that
Mm-hmm.
in this way. Now, if I say cybersecurity defenders are winning, the question is how many cybersecurity defenders do we have based on the number of available bad actors?
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
many of these companies, organizations are willing to actually deploy these tools to help protect their data, their processes, and everything against bad actors?
Yeah.
How many of the citizens themselves are aware of cyber threats in terms of cybersecurity awareness
Mm-hmm.
or how to use these tools to even protect themselves or being aware of the activities of the bad actors?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is for organizations who wants to win. Then for bad actors, there are many bad actors than the cybersecurity defenders. Even
Mm.
within the cybersecurity defenders themselves, there are bad actors among them. Then there are states right now in the world who are sponsoring bad actors as cybersecurity attackers. For
Mm-hmm.
example, North Korea, they have state-sponsored cyber bullies, cyber attackers. In fact, every nation does, but some nations they do it more than the others.
Mm.
So for me, I would say yes, there are cybersecurity defenders they are trying, but the bad guys are still winning till everybody is aware of the tools and how to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm. So yes, it's true. Depending on where you look at it, yes, there are a lot of bad actors, and yes, sometimes that's why the issue of ethics is very important in cybersecurity a lot because even the people who are defenders they can even switch sides, right? They can even switch side and join the other if what they are offering is very attractive. What they are offering is very attractive. It's very easy and to even win some of these people onto the other side. All right. Okay. So now AI in cloud computing. AI in cloud computing. So AI is being used in cloud computing as well. On all these cloud platforms, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, they all use it for intelligent auto scaling, yes, cost optimization as well, because you wouldn't want to subscribe to cloud services that may be running in the background that you may not need. Okay, automated backups, yes. Then also financial ops what intelligence. Having AI powered dashboards in real time. So these are areas where AI is also being used in what cloud computing what platform. Okay. Then there's AI in network management is also featuring very well in network management. So traffic optimization, yes. So sometimes you could see a lot of these ride hailing apps, they subscribe to those a lot. Okay, they are able to tell you, okay, this area there's a lot of traffic, so use alternative what routes. Okay. So dynamic traffic, route traffic based on what? Real-time congestion, latency, and bandwidth or data, helping all of that. Okay. Capacity planning, yes. Capacity planning help you to forecast that. Okay. Based on your operations, you may need these resources, right? Then Wi-Fi optimization is also being done, right? Wi-Fi optimization is also being done. Fault prediction, network failures is able to, based on historical patterns, it can tell you that and give you that 2 days advance that based on how your network is. I think that will really help us in Africa a lot, network failures, because we really need it. We really need it, but that's just by the way. Intent-based what? Networking, okay. Define networks in plain language and doing what? Automatic what? Configurations, enforcing them. Okay, then network security also enforcement. So it's not just about the configuration, but enforcing security within these what? These networks. And AI is doing a lot in network what? Management. Okay. Now moving on. In software development, AI is also doing a lot in software development from the planning stage. It helps to identify risk, the design, the coding, the testing, the deployment, the maintenance. AI is featured in all these various what levels. But people have some concern when it comes to some of these. Okay, so let's say if an AI generated script, right? If an AI generated script causes a major outage, who is ultimately responsible? So I'll also like your views on this. If an AI generated script, who is ultimately responsible? Is it the developer? Is it the AI provider or the manager who approved the code? So this is a very tricky one. This is a very tricky one. What are our views on that? What are our views? So if I put that in the chat now. So if it's developer, just type developer. If it's AI provider, AI provider. If it's the manager, then the manager. So if an AI generated script causes a major system outage, who is ultimately responsible? Who would you blame? Will you blame the developer for using the AI? Will you use the AI provider? Okay, that's if the company that has provided those services, okay, the company whose agent you are using to develop the script, to generate the script, or the manager who approved the code. Who would you blame? Who do you think is responsible? Who do you think is? Let's go to the chat room. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you, Adedamola, Kayode, Dr. Love. Okay, Dr. Love has dropped off. John, yes, you are here. I didn't see you come in. John, let's hear from you. Who do you think we will blame? Let's go to the chat room. Who will you blame and why? Who will you blame and why? Let's go to the chat room quickly. Let's go to the chat room. Let's go to the chat room. Who will you blame? If you want to also unmute yourself and speak, you can go ahead as well. Any option you would like to take. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. In the next minute, I would like to hear from us.
Okay, there are responses in the chat room.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Adedamola is saying the manager should have ensured that sensitive data are not left out. So yes, he will blame the manager because in the end, you need to review it well. And beyond the reviewing, it needed to be tested before using it at scale. So the manager, I love that perspective. The manager. Who else? Who thinks the developer? Who thinks the AI provider? Let's hear from you. Any other divergent opinions? Any other divergent opinions? Okay. So I also believe ultimately it's the manager because you can't just blame AI, okay, or the developer. Fine, the developer, yes, but the ultimate responsibility will lie on you, the manager. You, the one doing the code reviews and doing the approvals and doing the deployment of the code. You need to ensure that it is properly tested before it is applied. So yes, ultimately the onus falls on the manager. Okay, onus falls on the manager. Okay. Then AI assisted code generation. Yeah, so it is there. So the future of programming. I know when AI came, that was the first thing that AI would take over developer jobs. That was the area that a lot of people were targeting. A lot of people were targeting, right? And I remember the era of DeepSeek, okay, when people started using DeepSeek a lot. You know, ChatGPT was always there, and ChatGPT is from the US, so but DeepSeek from China, and it raised so many concerns about in the end you are feeding Chinese intelligence, and it created a whole debate. Okay, so when DeepSeek started gaining popularity, then the developer said, looks like it's AI that will take AI jobs, not developer jobs. And it created a whole funny moment. But it was something, a real situation that was being discussed. So now AI assists in a lot of code generation. We have GitHub Copilots, inline code suggestions. Okay, Amazon Code Whisper, Google Gemini Code Assistant, Cursor AI, Claude for code. All these are tools that helps in code generation. And now people say the era of vibe coding is really real. The era of vibe coding. So now, literally anybody can code in codes. Literally anybody can code in code. But how do we ensure that, especially our junior developers, still learn the fundamentals? If AI is still doing the heavy lifting, like how do we ensure that because in as much as AI is there is good, it helps us, but what do we think? How do we ensure that people still learn the basics and not let AI do everything from beginning to end? It's just a food for thought for us that we should think on how do we ensure that junior developers still learn because I speak to a lot of developer friends, right? I even have my brother is a developer, he has his company, and there's always that temptation to use AI to do everything, okay? But the other bit is when now you have to be debug for so many hours, okay? So this is a food for thought for us as we move on, okay? Then AI and IT service management. So AI is helping a lot in IT service management. I believe we've even done a lot of discussions around this when we talked about IT support and all of that, customer care and all of that. Okay. So AI is doing a lot in that sector. So in terms of intelligent ticket routing, so um it helps to do that. It reads the ticket, looks at the context, and that's what the triage. Okay, so the triage is when the initial diagnosis. Okay, and it helps with that. Then automated tier one support, virtual agents helping with what the usual use cases, reset, software access, VPN, and all of that. The ones that happens a lot, password resets and all of that. Then change risk assessment also helping that in terms of when they are in a change request, it helps to predict failure probability and or flag high risk deployment automatically. Yes, if it can predict that this kind of deployment you are trying to do, it can actually bring the whole system down. Then you would do extra testing just to be on the safer side. Knowledge-based curation is also another area. Identifying resolution patterns from tickets and auto-generates knowledges or articles that will help you. So, especially in an area that may be novel or new that you may have not dealt with before, it gives you the ideas. Why don't you try this way? Why don't you try it that way? And it gives that knowledge base and helping to resolve some of these tickets faster. Okay, resolve some of these tickets faster. Okay. So a question for us, if you could automate any part of your job, what will it be? Right now, I believe we are not in full automation, but if you could automate any part of your job, which part would it be? Which area do you think, oh, this area is quite boring and I want AI to help me do that? Any ideas? I'm putting that in the chat. I want to hear from this one. I want to hear from us. Go to the chat room or unmute yourself and speak. If you could automate any part of your job, any boring in code part of your job, which part will it be? Which part of your job do you think is too much of a stretch? So if you have some automation, it will really help. So let's hear from you, John. I haven't heard from you. Which part will it be? You can unmute yourself and speak. You can unmute yourself and speak. I haven't heard from you, John, today. Or if you're unable to speak, you can always type in the chat room. And this question goes to all of us. Kayode, Adedamola, if you want to automate any part of your job that you think is too repetitive or it's too boring to do, which one would it be? Which one will it be? Let's hear from you quickly. Let's hear from us. 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 Let's go to the chat room. Let's go to the chat room quickly. Or we are fine. Are we fine with everything we are doing? Okay, I can see Elizabeth has also joined. So let's hear from all of us. Which part of your work do you think you need automation? John, Elizabeth, Kayode, Adedamola. Okay, there's someone in the chat room. Mercy is saying document and this because I have a lot of documents I'm working on. So yes, the documentation part, we all would want that. Like here, like myself, I'm an auditor. I would want AI to write my report for me because that's the part I feel like it's very burdensome. But I might also be thinking, feeding AI with people's what confidential information, okay, might be a big issue. And when maybe I think about that, I just go back to typing. Okay, monthly preparation of management report and accounting reporting reconciliation. Yes, because you feel like those are repetitive. So you want AI to just help you to generate it. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's good. Thank you for your contributions. So you realize that the documentation part, we all dread that part. We all dread that part. Okay, so moving on. So AI chatbot and virtual assistant. I believe we've talked about this at and length. So password reset, VPN troubleshooting, software access request, hardware fault reports, and all of that. Okay, these are areas that AI is helping with. And AI in data management and analytics is also featuring. AI is also featuring in such what areas. So data quality management, right? Auto detecting duplication, making it clean, formatting everything. So yeah, format it for me. It will just format it. Everything is what is in line, making sure the data is what is quality. Automated data classification. This I've seen a lot in a lot of even organizations in Nigeria. That now lots of organizations are using that automated data classification. You have a document and you need to classify it. You may not even know where to put it under. So the tools will just help you based on the classification level that has been fed into the the tools, and it will just help you to choose one word easily. And that is being done, seeing it firsthand. Natural language querying, yes, querying AI translating SQL and returns what insight, helping with that as well. Then intelligent ETL pipelines, AI-powered pipelines adapt to schema changes automatically, right? Reducing pipeline overload. Predictive analysis, helping to predict based on what historical data. That okay, based on this information, you can predict that this is what might likely would happen. Okay. Data lineage tracking, how data flows across what systems, ensuring auditability and regulatory compliance. So when it comes to data privacy, you want to know, do a lot of data what mapping. You want to know where your data flows from when it was created all the way to when it was destroyed. And AI can help you track that, right? Within what systems that the data what flows through. Okay, and this is being done in what? In real time. This is being done in real time. AI in database optimization. So this is being what done as well. So in terms of query optimization, index recommendation, automatic vacuuming and maintenance, anomaly detection, autonomous databases, and capacity word forecasting. The databases is doing that. Okay, and Flutterwave is using that to process 500 million plus annual transactions using AI optimized data infrastructure. So you realize that now you can handle volumes. Your database can handle what? Volumes, just because of that AI what capability. It can just pull information quickly, fast for you. Because usually when the database becomes very huge, imagine 500 million records plus is a lot. So when your database gets like huge like that, sometimes pulling records becomes what very difficult. So sometimes that's what happens in lots of our government institutions. Okay, there's a lot of information on there. So sometimes being able to pull it from their systems is wahala. It's a lot of work. But with AI, it can just do that quickly for us. Okay. Then AI and IT infrastructure, very, very important as well, the IT infrastructure, the data centers especially, helping with the compute, the storage, and also the networking. AI is featuring in that as well. AI is featuring in that as well. Okay, so AI-driven VM placement, workload, what balancing. So auto scaling prediction. So AI will help in such a way that if you have different servers that people are requesting for certain services from, and it's able to detect that, okay, this server is really overloaded. Why don't I would shift other requests to other servers? And it helps it to do that what effectively. In terms of the storage, failure prediction, pattern, asset pattern caching, okay? Then networking too. SDN, software defined network policy enforcement as well, right? Now we are using network software to define or demarcate our networks, and AI helps with that. Latency optimization and traffic shaping as well. Traffic shaping as well. So AI is doing a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to what? The infrastructure. Okay. When it comes to the infrastructure. Then predictive maintenance before with AI. Fix it before it breaks. Yes. I believe we also needed this a lot in Africa because our maintenance culture is on the low side. So if AI will help us determine that, okay, you have used this generator for this number of hours, so then you need to what? Take it for what? For maintenance, or this AC or this machine. That will really be what? Be very helpful. So as we are moving from that reactive, waiting for your equipment to break down before it can what? You can go and service it. No. So the reactive is you fix after the failure, high downtime cost, and unplanned disruption. But the preventive, it helps you to schedule what? Maintenance as regular what? Intervals. And if there are any parts to be replaced, you do that. Predictable costs. So it will feed into what your budget quickly because that's predicted that, oh, in X number of time, you will need to replace these parts, right? It will help that. And predictive AI gives data-driven timing, minimal waste, and nearly what? Zero downtime. Okay. So this is being done in what? Real time as well. So what does the AI monitor? It monitor the server temperature, very, very important. The CPU load, memory pressure, and all of that. It does all of that. UPS battery health, it does that as well. The cooling, network interface error rate, the storage drive smart data. It predicts this failure days in what advance. So that you wouldn't be just be sitting there one day, you have this failure and all your information may be lost. Okay. Disrupting your what? Your operations. So AI helps with that. Then AI in DevOps and DevSecOps. So DevOps development with operation, DevSecOps development security operations. AI is really featuring in that as well. So from the planning phase where you are planning your backlog, your code, the build, the testing, the release, the security. AI is featuring in all these processes from start to what? To end. Okay, from start to end. AI is helping with what? DevSecOps. Okay. Then AI in software testing and QA quality assurance. So smarter test, fewer bugs, and faster releases. Okay. So test case generation, it can generate, so you can just tell the AI to anyone hand up. You can just feed into the AI to what you have built. I have built this, and this is what I want to achieve. Then it will generate the test cases for you quickly. And this helps you so that you don't overlook any area that needs testing. Okay. Sometimes when these softwares are going to be released, the testing may be focused on just one aspect. Okay, but with AI, because it does the test case generation, it helps to what come up with every possible scenario, so that you don't miss any parts, you don't miss testing any part. Okay, self-healing test. Yes, when UI elements change, AI helps to do that. Performance testing with AI it also helps with performance, right? Before you what? You go to production. Visual UI testing, it also does that. Intelligent test prioritization. So it helps to prioritize your test so that you know that these areas that are more likely to cause what? Critical issues. Those are the ones that you focus on, okay? Then mutation testing AI. AI automatically injects code mutation and verifies that test suits catch them and measure their quality as well. So these are all areas in which AI is playing a major what? A major role in. Okay, AI is playing a major role in. Okay. Okay, moving on. Then we have AI for IT decision making. AI for IT decision. So I've seen beyond the I'll say corporate use of AI. A lot of us use Chat GPT or AI in different tools, in WhatsApp, in Snapchat, all of that. And sometimes someone can ask AI, maybe today, what should I eat for lunch? Or I'm going for this meeting, how should I look? Okay, these are what decisions that AI will help you what make, and even these are personal lives. How much more in what professional spheres? Okay, so AI helps in IT management for intuitive what decision, data driven, evidence backed what choices, so that it is not what the choices that you make is not just arbitrary. Okay, it's based on what facts. So strategic in terms of vendor selection, IT investment prioritization and all of that, tactical, resource allocation, change management, sprint planning, operational in terms of what incident priority, auto escalation rules, and all of that. So IT leaders use AI assisted decision tools, which makes decisions 5 times what faster. Okay, but there's a different angle to this. Okay, there's a different. What is the number one fear that you think your leadership team has regarding AI implementation? What do you think they fear? In terms of using, especially using AI for what? Making decisions. Any any thoughts? Any thoughts? And put it in the chat for us. What is the number one fear your your leadership team has regarding AI implementation? Because I bet they have heard about all these AI bars, okay? But what are their fears? Like deep down, what do they fear? What do they fear deep down? Let's hear from us. Let's hear from John, from Elizabeth, from Ade Damola, from Kayode. Let's hear from you. What do you think are the fears? What do you think are the fears? Anyone? Let's go into the chat room, or you can unmute yourself and speak. Let's go to the chat room, or you can unmute yourself and speak. Let's go to the chat room, or you can unmute yourself and speak. Let's go to the chat room. I want to hear from us. I want to hear from us. I want to hear from us, from everyone. Kayode, Adedomola, Elizabeth, from John. John, I haven't heard your voice today, or I haven't seen your text today.
Please, I did not get the question.
So the question is, your leadership team, what do they fear the most about implementing AI? What is holding them back? If, let's say, I bet they've heard of AI and what AI helps them to achieve, okay? But deep down, what do you think they're afraid of in terms of implementing what AI within their organization? What would you think they'll be afraid of?
Good afternoon. So I think data leakage, like when there might be exposure of data or
Mm-hmm.
certain
Okay. So yes, I bet that's their number one worry, data exfiltration or leakage of sensitive information. It's a very legitimate what fear. It's a very legitimate fear. Information going what out or feeding, you are feeding an AI agent, you don't know where they keep the information, you don't know who controls it, you are just feeding them with information. And that is an area of worry. That is an area of worry. Thank you for that. So moving on. So beyond IT for decision making. In fact, AI has a lot of benefits. Okay, AI has a lot of benefits, even though it has a side, but we'll talk about that. It has a lot of benefits. In every word, IT department needs AI strategy. Okay, reducing what IT operational cost, 40 to 55%. That's about half, and that's a lot. Faster mean time to resolution. The time frame in which you resolve incidents or resolve issues 3 times faster. Okay. And people will be more happy with that because if I send in my request and it's resolved very fast, the customer too, I'll be very satisfied. Okay. 60% less tier one ticket volume via automation. So automation handles a lot of the tier one support so that it is faster. You wouldn't need a human, mm, um, someone. People say that, oh, people are worried that, oh, now the Gen Zs especially, they are using AI as a friend and everything. They are worried. And someone commented, AI wouldn't complain, AI wouldn't judge me, AI wouldn't. So all the AI, all the things they will not see in a human being, they are definitely getting from AI, and they are good to move on. Okay. 50% fewer unplanned outages with predictive AI. Yes, for sure. Then 40% developer productivity improvement. Then 80% faster threat detection and response. Because for threat is an area that there's a lot of obscurity around. But if you are able to get a tool that will help you look ahead, okay, then that really has enormous what benefits. That has a lot of what benefits. Okay. So these are the benefits of AI in IT. Okay. So we've looked at the benefits. Yes, it has a lot of benefits, okay. But what are some of the challenges? What are some of the challenges of AI adoption in IT? There are quite a lot of challenges. Okay. Sorry. There are quite a lot of challenge. First of all, the data quality and readiness is a challenge, especially in our part of the world, because most of these, in fact, not most of these, all of these AI agents are from the Western world, and we are using those too. So, and we are wondering, do they factor our kind of data in when developing these? So you realize that anything you search on is mostly US based, unless you qualify it. So if you want information with regards to any other country apart from US, you need to qualify it. Okay, you need to qualify because the default is the US, right? So they'll give you information from, but you need to qualify, okay, Ghana, Nigeria, or UK. Then it gives you that data. Okay. And it has some impact. AI is only as good as the data it trains. Poor data use what? Poor predictions. Okay. The mitigation is what? Data governance, data quality tools, and master data what? Management. Okay. Then the skills gap is also a real issue. The skill gap is a lot of issues. So 70% of IT teams lack adequate skills, and for sure, a lot of people don't know how to use what AI because it can do a lot. And even those of us who know how to do it, we are just using this for just a fraction of what actual capability what is. So we need to do a lot of what upscaling, certification, like we are doing now. This will help us what really upskill and beef up our knowledge. Okay. Then integration complexity is also another thing, especially for what we call legacy system, the old systems, because they run on different infrastructure and sometimes it's not sometimes most often than not they are behind. So it's very difficult to integrate AI into it. So but we can use API layers, middleware, AI platforms, phase modernization to help with that integration. AI bias and reliability, bias training data. We talked about it being US what? US biased. Okay, US biased. So we should have diverse training data set, but maybe we should also think in Africa, like developing our own AI agents that could even help us solve a lot of these bias issues, okay? Because the thing is, the bias is already in the system, right? When for hiring now, these ATS that is being used for hiring, for reviewing CVs and everything, they feed the current practices into these AI tools. So if for a particular role, these are the specific people that have been occupying them for a while now, they use that information. So it's still AI still falls into that bias theory because that's how they program it. In the end, it will still select particular people or to keep rejecting people without even really having a thorough look at their CVs. Okay. Then the cost of implementation, it's also another thing because AI is very expensive. It's very expensive because it's still new technology, so it's very expensive. So these are some of the challenges, okay? But I want to pick our brains a bit. Would you prefer AI that is 100% secure but slow, or 80% secure but incredibly fast? What do you think in terms of security versus speed? Security versus speed. Which one will you go for? Security versus speed. What are our thoughts? Put it in the chat. What are our thoughts? What are our thoughts? Will we prefer security over speed? Because sometimes you may not get all the two at the same time. Would you prefer an AI that is 100% secure but slow, or 80% secure but incredibly fast? Security. Okay, kind of say security. That's a good perspective. Who else? Any other perspectives? Looks like everybody's going for security. Oh. We are all going for candidates also in security because we are scared. We are very much scared, so we are going for security. High security and low. Wow, Elizabeth has a different opinion. Care to share why you would go for that? Care to share why? You can type in the chat. Why are you choosing? Okay, you are choosing high security. Okay, I guess I thought you were choosing. You chose the high speed. Okay, then that's fine. Looks like we all want security, so that's fine. That's fine. Okay, moving on. AI ethics in IT. So yes, ethics is also a very big issue when it comes to AI. It's a very big issue. So transparency, is an area. So you'll be wondering, how did they arrive at this decision that is giving you? So transparency is an issue. Fairness is an issue. It's discriminating. Okay. And like I said, AI is biased because we humans are biased. And we are the ones who build the AI. So definitely it wouldn't be fair. Right? Somebody will also
John,
say,
I told that guy that disposed
you,
that thing that should open it. That outside. Go and cover it. You drive by.
okay, Kaide, are you okay? Let's move on. Then accountability, right? Humans must still be responsible because it's like I always say AI is a child, right? So you need a parent, which is a human being, to have that oversight, okay? Then privacy concerns is also an area, okay? NGPR, GDPR, there are also concerns when it comes to what AI. We are not sure if our data is really safe with AI. Who is able to see it? What are they even using it for? Okay, what are they using it for? Recently, an issue came up that supposedly is alleged that WhatsApp saying that your messages are end-to-end encrypted is not true. So I'm like, like now I start thinking all the things they've been telling us Is it really true? Now I'm starting to question everything. I'm starting to doubt everything. That's A. I haven't thought about this. Said it's end-to-end equation, so I believe it because I have no way of really verifying it, right? So people are worried about the privacy aspect and also the security. Sorry, the security aspect of it. Because AI models themselves are attack surfaces, right? The agents themselves, you need to secure them. They should have fundamental security before you add AI security on top. So that is also an issue. Okay. Then reliability. Reliability, relying on AI. Sometimes it can just let you down. Okay. It got to a point one time ChatGPT was down, and someone was saying that, oh, on LinkedIn, the reason why there are not so many posts to this is because ChatGPT is down, and most people now use ChatGPT to write all their posts and everything. So sometimes it's not really reliable. And in another vein, the reliability looks more at the information that it gives us. Sometimes it's not what really accurate. So you can't really use it for what actual serious what stuff. So relying on what AI is also something to what to look at. All right. Relying on AI is something to look at. Okay. So moving on, AI in IT, the Nigerian context. I mean, these are examples. Okay, so these are examples for us to know that some of these are already going on. And yes, I've seen some of these. So fraud detection, AI chatbots, network optimization, MTN Nigeria. I don't know whether they are doing it in Ghana, but I pray they are. AI recommendation engines. Jumia, Dangote using IoT. AI in what? IoT devices. Okay. Then NITDA, National AI Policy Framework. So yes, these are all things being done in AI with respect to the Nigerian context. I mean, a lot of countries are also taking the AI what serious as a national thing and having what a national policy, which organization will start what will be expected to what to adhere to, okay, or follow. Okay, every AI tools every IT professional should know. So yes. So if you're an IT professional, you should have some of these. Okay, in terms of monitoring, security or SIM, code and development, ITSM and support, data analytics, cloud management, collaboration, AI. I believe if we are in the IT space, we may have used one of these one way or what, or the other. We may have used one way or the other. Okay. Okay, moving on. Skills required for AI in IT. So there are a lot of skills required, the technical skills, the IT domain skills, and the analytical what skills. And these are real areas that we need to beef up in. We need to beef up in to remain what competitive, okay? To remain competitive, we need to beef up in because there are lots of things done behind the scenes that if we don't upskill, I'm telling you, your job, and now certain jobs are becoming very harder to find because um now AI can do a lot. So certain things are being scrapped off. So we need to really what upskill. So what is one skill that you think you'll be double down on learning because of the rise of AI? So in your field, okay, in our various fields. What is one skill that you started learning because you know that if you don't take care, you'll be left behind? Let's go into the chat room. Let's go into the chat room. Let's go into the chat room. What skill are you learning now because of AI, because of the rise of AI, what skill are you learning? Tell us in the chat. I want to hear from us all. What skill are you learning because of the rise of AI? What skill are you learning? What skill are you learning? So, John, what skill are you learning? Kayode, Titilayo, Elizabeth, let's hear from you. So, let me start with myself. So, myself, I'm learning a lot because of AI. Okay, I've had to, because I'm an auditor, I've had to learn about what ISO 42001, lead implementer and lead auditor. So I had to learn it, write exam and pass and have the certification. Beyond that, I had to learn AI for business leaders. I did a course in science for that. And also trying to learn how to do some small coding, right? Because you also want to learn some of these things, not because you want to become a developer or anything, but to enhance your work. Okay. And learning about some of these tools, especially these cybersecurity tools and what it does, and even the risk around it, so that as I'm auditing an organization, I am able to predict some of the risks they might likely face, and that will inform what my audits. And at the same time looking at trends in terms of AI risk, in terms of the AI landscape, learning all of this so that I would be able to give more assurance to the clients that I am auditing. By the time I'm done with auditing them, they would have got a lot of value. It's not just about where is this document, where is that document, and that is a continuous thing that I have to keep on learning something continuously. I have to keep on learning. Sometimes even new tools, the tools that an organization is using, may not be familiar with it. You need to learn about that as well. So that's for me, okay? But what about you? What about you? What about you? What are you learning? Or what skills are you acquiring because of AI so that you don't get left behind? Because yes, you may be left behind based on the things that happen behind the scenes that I'll say some of us have been privy to know. Some are very confidential, so I can't really talk about them, but there's a lot going on with AI. There's a lot. There's a lot going on with AI. That is not even out there, right? That is not even out there. So I want to hear from us quickly. I want to hear from us as we are inching towards the end of this webinar. I want to hear from us. Let's go to the chat room. So Kayode says cybersecurity skills. I like that. We are learning that because of AI. That's good. That's good. And in this dispensation, yes, you need to have a skill, because I was just discussing with someone that now you realize that the world is moving away from, okay, there's a job there and somebody will come and employ you. It is now moving towards, I have the skills, so I'm advertising and people will come and patronize and I make money out of it. So if you are waiting for someone to open a business and employ you, hmm, maybe sitting on a time bomb. You need to first decide, what skills do I have that people would want to buy. Then you start working on it. Even if you are being employed, a salary worker or anything. And with that, I believe you know what AI, because of AI, you'll not be left behind. Okay. So I believe the rest of us can put it in the chat as I move on. Okay. Okay, so that's the skills required for AI in IT. Then future trends. What should we expect? I mean, we are talking about 2030, but it's just 4 years away from now, and to come like a snap of a finger. Okay. So what should we expect in the future? So agentic AI in IT operations is already there. So yeah, okay, they said 2025. So yes. AI native development platform. Okay, we are getting there. Quantum AI hybrid systems. Neuromorphic computing in IT. So more of brain-inspired chips with ultra low power. It's especially for the IoT devices, yes, because now everything it will get to a time everything will be smart because we have smartwatches, smart TVs, smart fridges, everything will be smart and they will have like a brain on their own. Okay. Then 2030, fully autonomous IT operations. Yes, that I believe will surely happen by even way maybe before 2030 because based on current trends how things are even going now. Okay, so what is the roadmap in terms of adoption, in terms of integrating AI within your IT? So first of all, the first 3 months could be what the phase in which you do your assessment. You assess you audit your current IT process, you identify the automation opportunities, then you assess your data readiness and define your KPIs. That you need to do what first. Okay. Then the next phase, the next 3 months, it's what your pilot phase. You want to select just a few use cases. You don't want to go in all at once. No, but select a few use cases that you need AI in, then you deploy the tools in those controlled environment, train your IT staff. Okay, they are like trainings like this. Then you measure your baseline versus the performance and see how you are performing. Okay, before you scale, the next 6 to 12 months will be when you scale, you expand your pilot to other what part of the organization. You integrate AI into ITSM, governance, and what you build what AI competency center. So the skills will be what more widespread. Okay. Then beyond that, that's when what you optimize a year plus. You optimize continuous model retraining. Yes, because there'll still be things that AI will learn on the job. Like I said, I see AI as a child, and as children, you need to keep on learning because your brain, that's when your brain starts what developing. Okay. AI native operations model, then advanced AI ops, then contributing to the AI what ecosystem. All right. So, what are some of the key takeaways from this session? I mean, we've touched on a lot. We've touched on a lot. What are some of the what? The key takeaways. What are some of the key takeaways from this session? Okay. So the first, AI is not the future, it is now because most of these things are already being done. So AI, we say AI is the future. I remember Bill Gates talked about AI is the future like 10, 15 years ago. I remember that's when he mentioned artificial intelligence. I remember those times, I mean, we're not much deep into cybersecurity. So when he kept on saying, we're like, these people and their things, what are they saying? We don't even get it, but it is now, okay? The next takeaway, the biggest barrier of AI technology is not AI adoption, is not technology, it's the data, the skills, the organizational culture, because that pushback will always happen, but it's always a phase. Okay, I remember Dr. Lab was talking about how when government introduced softwares and everything, the pushback, that's how it is. Okay, even in Ghana here, a lot of government institutions are fighting digitization because it kind of hinders some of the negative practices they want to be doing. Okay, so the pushback will be there, but we need to go beyond that as well. Then IT professionals have a unique opportunity to live for traditional IT limited using AI from day one. So from day one, helping you to move past what the traditional will really come in to make sure that that ethical part is still what enforced. Then the last but not least, start small, right? Don't just go all in. Okay, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Start small and go what? Gradually. So that's it from me. Any questions? Do we have any questions, any contributions, anything? Okay, so I have one last, I'll say, question for us to deliberate on before we go. I have one last question for us to deliberate on before we go that I'll put in the chat as well. I'll put in the chat as well. It's something for us to think on. Okay. So the question for us all is, in your opinion, who is more likely to cause a breach in the next 12 months? A malicious external actor using AI or a well-meaning employee accidentally feeding sensitive IP into public AI model? It's a food for thought for us. It's a food for thought for us. We can always drop our thoughts in the chat. Do you think it's the external person that you should be afraid of, or the internal person that you should be afraid of? The external person who knows everything about AI and is using it, or the internal person who may not be too knowledgeable and may make some mistakes? Something to think on. So I believe at this juncture, I'll hand over to our organizers. I'll hand over to our organizers. So Mercy and team, if you're on the call, you can hear me.
Yes. Thank you so
I'll
much,
leave it to you.
Elizabeth. Is there any assignment for this course from you? Can you hear me? Oh, if you're saying
Hello?
anything, yes, I am asking, is there any assignment from you? No? Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. No
Okay, if there is,
assignments,
okay, no, we are going to do that
unfortunately.
from our end. We will do that from our end. All right, thank
Oh,
you
okay.
so much, Elizabeth. I really enjoyed your session. Please, a round of applause since we do not have any question. A round of applause to our trainer. Thank you so much. That was a practical session and it was relatable as well. Thank you. All right, while we are still on that, if you are here to fill up the attendance, please do so. It's already in the chat room. And also, we will need you to fill up the feedback form. Just tell us how today's class was and how we can, so that we can see how to improve, right? Thank you so much, everyone.